Silver Defender asks, I have a perfect work-related opportunity in the near future, but I worry that anxiety could get in the way. Have you any advice for facing the anxiety so the opportunity isn't lost? Yeah, I do have some advice. So you haven't stated exactly what you're anxious about, but I'm going to just like choose some things that you could be anxious about and address them. You could be anxious about your ability to finish the job. I think it's important to try and separate your fear of not finishing the job from your knowledge of whether or not you can finish it. Somewhere in here, you totally know whether you can deliver this job or not. Whether the client will be perfectly happy is another question, but they're giving you a charge. Do you feel comfortable to address and answer the charge they've given you? And you can redound to your training. If you have built an object like this in the past, you can feel confident that you can do it again. I had an opportunity last year to do some therapy, and it was a alternate modality of therapy, and the therapist that I was working with was 20 plus years younger than me. And I was thinking to myself, how can I take this person seriously when they're so much younger? They have so much less life experience than I do. And then I realized they had gone through the training at the same place that my wife had gotten her marriage and family therapy training, CIIS, the California Institute for Integral Studies. I knew they had gone to CIIS. I lived with my partner when she went through CIIS. I didn't go through that training, but I saw that training happen. I understood what that training gave to the professional that is my wife. And so I looked at this therapist and I was like, I know they went through the same training. I know what that training gives them in terms of tools to work with me, and I trust that training. And that relaxed me a lot in working with this person whose life experience was radically different than mine. And they did help me. The modality that we were working within helped. No, I'm not going to give you any more details than that. So one is to redound to your real internal knowledge, can you execute this thing? Whether or not the client's going to be happy is not necessarily something you can answer, although if the client is a pill at the beginning, it's likely they're going to be a pill at the end. Other things that you could be anxious about are being in the workspace. And maybe you're anxious about being in the physical space with other people, working with people you might not feel qualified to work around. The thing I want to say about being in a physical space and feeling anxious is you don't have to feel relaxed to appear relaxed. And this is for me, was a great secret. I have done a lot of stage performance and a lot of public speaking in my life. I'm very comfortable with it. And still, there are places in which I'm about to step on stage where I feel nervous. That's totally real. Stepping out onto the TED stage is one of them. It doesn't matter how much public speaking you've done, stepping out onto that red circle is a heady experience. And as you go, there's a thing that happens when you're tense around people. They can tell. And frankly, when you're tense around them and they can tell, it's natural for humans to want to take care of each other. And when you're on stage and you're tense and the audience is feeling like maybe they have to take care of you, they can get angry. It's not going to come out as aggression necessarily from the audience, but you can feel that. The answer is relaxing your muscle groups. Relax your neck. Is your jaw clenched? Is your neck clenched? Are your brows furrowed? Meditation is fabulous for training yourself to work through your muscle groups and relax them. It is one of the primary things I have gotten from meditation over the past 30 years. And when you meditate and you sit there and like, where is your tongue? Where are your teeth? Where is your neck? Where are your shoulders? Where's your chest? And when you relax those things, there can still be a 5-alarm anxiety fire going on in your head. But if your muscles are all relaxed, the practical result is that the people around you are going to be more relaxed than otherwise. And that generates a positive feedback loop. You see they're relaxed, you relax yourself, you see they're relaxed, you feel a little more relaxed. I have had this equation many, many times. What are social situations in which I don't feel relaxed? Oh, yeah, celebrity parties. Shit. Going to the Comic-Con party is amazing and it's really thrilling. And it's also really intense to be in a room with all those folks. Yeah. I've definitely had close to a panic attack back in the early days, completely. And again, yeah, you don't have to feel relaxed to appear relaxed. And that is the first step, I think, in building the right feedback loop. And I think the last thing I want to say is if you end up not taking the opportunity because you've assessed whether or not you think you can execute it to your and the client's satisfaction and you don't think you can, so you don't want to go into that, make that decision from a place of like, that's the decision that had to get made. Don't make that decision and then beat yourself up about it afterwards. That's not a useful way to deal with the, I think that is not a useful way to deal with the anxiety. We are all totally different. We have all sorts of different programming up here, so I don't want to say one thing is one thing and another is another. All of our experiences are unique, but in my opinion, it's really good practice to go easy on yourself and to like, okay, I didn't take that opportunity. Other opportunities will arrive. I have definitely had that happen. Good luck. Good luck with that job. I hope you take it. Somebody asked a Huxley question. Here we go. Huxley was my dog. We had, well, hold on. Let's get to the question. dcpesses donated super chat. Thank you. And asks, recently my dog Scooter passed away. I'm so sorry. I know everyone grieves differently, but what helped you find peace when Huxley passed? Yeah. I never had a dog growing up because my father was terribly allergic to dogs. We had cats. I had cats for a good portion of my life, and it turns out I'm terribly allergic to cats. I didn't know that having a stuffed nose wasn't just part of being a human until a cat ran away and my nose cleared up and now I can smell like better than anything. My sense of smell is literally one of my most refined senses. Sorry, but I didn't have a dog growing up. When my partner, Mrs. Don't Try This, and I got married, we bought a house in 2005 over in Sunnyside near City College. And we had a yard. And my partner was like, we should get a dog. And yeah, I'll tell you this whole story. And she says, we should think about getting a dog. And I'm like, oh, getting a dog, that's a lot of work, man. I'm not sure, maybe. I don't want to be a pill, but sure, I'll entertain that. And she keeps on looking, my partner keeps on looking at ASPCA websites and Rocket Dog Rescue and stuff. And then there's this day when she says, hey, there's this dog over at Berkeley Humane that I'd like to go see. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll go see this dog, but I'm just not sure. And then like an hour later, we're talking about dinner and she's like, well, maybe we're not gonna go out to dinner if we end up bringing this dog home. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I thought we were just gonna go look at this dog. I didn't know we were going to take him home. And like I got all tense about it. And then I thought, all right, now you're being kind of a pill. How could you open yourself up to this experience a little more? And I at that moment, I was tense. I'd never had a dog. And I thought, okay, well, how about this? I thought this was like a nice high bar for me. I thought, how about if I walk in and immediately fall in love with this dog, it'll be great. And if I don't, it's just not in the cards. That's what I thought to myself. We drove over to Berkeley Humane. And they put us in a room and they brought Huxley in. And Huxley came over to me. And I did. I fell in love with him instantaneously. And I turned to my wife and I was just like, mm-hmm. And he met us, he met the boys. They were 5.5. And we put him in the car and we brought him home. Huxley, we named him Huxley. His name at the shelter was Clyde because he'd been found with his sister, who they named Bonnie, walking the streets of Pinole. And Huxley was afraid to climb stairs at the beginning. And later on at Ocean Beach, when we took him down to Fort Funston, he would like climb the walls of the sand dunes of the rocks of Ocean Beach. Huxley was an amazing, amazing being. And in January of 2020, he had been deteriorating for several months, getting slower, getting more injuries, getting gastrointestinal stuff. And one morning, at this point, he was walking really, really unstably. So we knew we were close to an end. And I walked him out to the deck. We were just letting him pee on our deck because up and down stairs was too much. So I walked him from the bedroom out to our deck, and he peed on the deck. And then as soon as he was done peeing, he sort of listed over. I swear to God, in my head, I was like, he's listing like he's leaning over like an AT-AT, like the AT-AT from the Hoth sequence in Empire Strikes Back. And I caught him, and I picked him up. And that there is the last moment that Huxley stood. Brought him back to the bedroom and put him on the bed. We called the vet, and we made an appointment for a vet to come that afternoon and put Huxley down in the house. And we were able to call people all day, friends, to come by and say goodbye, which was a really powerful experience to spend some time in that. I'm really grateful that we got to do that. One of my sons was in town, the other wasn't, but we were in contact. And at the end of this day, the vet comes, we do a final assessment. They are, the people who do this, who go to houses and help put pets down, the people that we dealt with were remarkable beings in their empathy and their kindness and their presence. It was really special. And so when in this procedure, they gave him a drug to sleep, and then they would give him a drug that would allow him to pass quietly. And they gave him the drug to sleep. And he sort of like, he took this deep breath and started to lay his head down. And Maggie, our other dog, Huxley's 50 pounds, Maggie's like 25. Maggie jumped up on the couch, and Huxley lifted his head, and she lay down, and he put his head on her. And then he died. Then he passed. And I will say the most astonishing thing to me about being there and carrying him down to the car was how much instant gratitude I felt over the incredible grace of getting to spend 13 years with this being, this animal. I learned a tremendous amount about being a person from that dog. And that love that I have for him has not diminished or changed in any way. My wife and I talk about it frequently. Like, we will call up old videos. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos and photos of him, thousands of photos. And we'll spend an evening a couple times a year just watching videos of Huxley. And we always describe that we're having the same experience, that the love we have is not a past tense love. It is right here, it is right now, and it is for him. And I didn't expect that. I had never had an animal super close to me pass. The other thing about going through that was accidentally really right was that Maggie being there. A writer I follow had to put one of her cats down in the middle of the night, and the other cat was like distraught for weeks because it had no idea what happened to the other cat. I mean, I totally get that now. Here was Maggie understanding exactly, I think, what was going on with Huxley and being present for it. Thanks for letting me tell that story. We are so lucky to get to spend time around beings as incredible as the pets that we are stewards of and with. It is a really amazing thing. My life is so much better because of dogs and cats. And I've also had pets. I've had rats. Rats are phenomenal pets. They come when you call them. They know their name. They give little kisses. If you have a problem with a bald tail, don't get a rat. But rats are awesome. All right, where are we at? That was, I didn't mean to bring everything down, but I did want to tell that story. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.